the new world. Danger lurking behind every corner, and beauty to be found in each twist and turn of the ecosystem. While researching the vast wildlands alongside the Fifth Fleet, one might feel hopeless in the face of this monstrous undertaking. Today, we're going on an expedition to hunt knowledge, and maybe a few big scaly blokes along the way. Welcome to my home. I'm Steve Wyrmen, and this is the Rathalos Hunter. Just as the land hungers for fresh hunters to carve out a place in the new world, the great Jaguars hungers, period. This gluttonous little Goldilocks stalks massive herbivores right here in the ancient forest. It can swallow an adult Optonath whole, and you best be wary once this thing's doubled in size with a big full belly. It don't go quite as quick way down with all the meat, but it can take the Pandaren Poe route and roll out like the Transformers of old. You don't want to be body slammed by this bugger after its meal, any more than you want to be said meal. Before we go on to the finer details, a word from my boss, the first in the feline to command himself, Fuzzbucket. Good point, sir. Great Jaguars may be solitary hunters, but they typically take up with a clutch of lesser Jaguars. If you or your Palico is fluent in Jaguarsese, you might even be able to offer one up an internship as a tail raider. The position's competitive, so you can only have one at a time. But imagine, if you will, you're a big stonking Odinson of a great Jaguars, holed up in your nest when out of nowhere, one of your old mates waltzes up and chomps your toe with a pack of furry blokes and declares, "Oi! I found a bird deal knocking around your arm, the moss wine fly." Not to worry, all large monsters encountered on the Rathalos Hunter are harmed the bare minimum possible in the process of producing this program. They are inebriated with experimental chemicals before being abducted from their natural habitats, vivisected by high-functioning sociopaths, and eventually get returned to the wild on the backs of volunteers from the research expedition, in the form of shiny new weapons and armor. Remember, no pain, all gains. Capture is the humane alternative. Do you have a word from our canteen sponsor, the Muscular Cat? Really? Shame he wrote that one. Anywho, where were we? Ah, yes, the finer details of a great Jaguars. In the event your mate bolts off in the middle of the hunt and starts screaming, "Kill it with fire!" Now he's giving you good advice on top of being a coward. Of all the elements, fire types are super effective against great Jaguars. Thunder and ice can get the job done, but if you're bringing dragon into this bungle in the jungle, you're in for a rude awakening. Water's just flat out bad because all you're doing is helping this massive fella here wash down whatever he was munching on earlier. If you're pinned down and your Ellie's gone to sleep, or you decide to go for raw damage, then here's where you should aim. The head and the belly are your best targets for any attack, the latter especially if it's just gorged on big, gorgeous herbivores. That bloated heap of pre-digested Optonath could crush a low-rank hunter with a single flab, and even if it ain't rolling on your left and right, this thing can still charge your head on like a Diablos in heat. I'm a poke it with me drum. As you can see, the great Jaguars is a bit of a fighter, banging his head on the drum. No way, that's me banging his head with the drum. You like metal, big guy? Oh, I bet you do, especially the heavy kind. Okay. He did not like that one bit. This one's news to me. Do not remind the great Jaguars that it recently fed. He may not be an apex predator, but he ain't stupid. He knows how to throw his weight around. What else should you know while we're out here? Master of Ceremonies, you got anything you want to throw there for the fivers? You sure? Alright, let's get to it then. I was gonna tell you what's breakable versus what's severable in the big fella. Spoilers, nothing severable. But Fuzzbucket thinks you might want to know a little about crafting. Let's bring our new friend back to Astara and see what he's made of. Now, for my personal preference, I don't use much in the way of great Jaguar parts. Not really a hunting horn in here, so I just made some armor for the cat and me and called it a day. It's good early on, seeing this is probably the first large creature most of you will be able to handle fresh out of Astara. No set bonuses for the armor, but it's got a little dragon resistance and plenty of waterproofing. As far as perks go, this armor is all about keeping the rumbly and your tumbly to a minimum. You want speed eating, free meals, or heck, maybe even you want to turn yourself into worm food so you get beefed up coming back from the cart? This is the set for you. Also, much like the great Jaguars chumming it up with his entourage to harmlessly weave around him, you can use the armor's Intimidator perk to scare off all the little creatures that might trip you up on your way to the big thrills of large monsters. Palago Rally is there as well if you want to be a pal, and of course the belly dancer in chief here has to give you some stomach skills with the ability to speed up your crawling with the, you guessed it, speed crawler perk. All that said, the weapons you can make from him are built for water and sleep. You'll see the pattern with weapons and armor soon, no worries. If you want to go to sleep, do it once we go to commercial. If you want a sleep status weapon, you can go Gold Lance, Switch Axe, and I'll shout out the Charge Blade for something I dabbled in, give or take a Puka Puka Plume. If flood damage gets you as wet as an insurance salesman, you can do water damage with the Great Sword as wet as the Sword and Shield. Lastly, the 2 bowguns you can craft from this gluttonous Goliath make up for the lack of elemental damage with a special ammo type, Wyvern Strike. I think that's about all I have to say about a famed Wyvern here. Fozzie, you got anything you want to add? Well said. The Great Jagras may be bottom of the food chain for big predators around here, but that doesn't mean hunters just getting started should take it lightly. Everyone has to start somewhere, and for those of you just starting to get your bearings, there's no better teacher than a giant, hungry mouth surrounded by claws and a big thrashing tail. Body Slam is a move you're going to see as normal soon enough, so get ready to punch above your weight class and don't go yellow-bellied on us now. For anyone looking to start from scratch or to learn a new kit from the bottom up, Great Jagras is the first hurdle on your road to research. Take a bite out of the new world before it takes a bite out of you. G'day, thanks for joining us here on the Rathalos Hunter. I hope all you hunters out there had a real banger soaking up all the juicy details from this expedition. If you want to feast on more monsters and mayhem, wiggle on over to the rest of Ferox Chrysalism's videos. He's cooking up all sorts of scary good something or other. If you had a good time with us, let us know what you enjoyed and what else you'd like to see. If you didn't, I got a great Up to North costume just your size. Thanks for stopping by. It's been fun. Have a good one.